Hello. In this video, I'm going to document my process of learning a new programming language using an LLM, or more specifically, trying to use an LLM to learn a new programming language. Specifically, I'm using 2.5 Flash Experimental from Gemini 2.5 Flash Experimental from Google. What am I not doing in this video? In this video, I will not be vibe coding. I will not be getting AI to do my thinking for me. I will instead be using an LLM to learn something new. So, what programming language am I trying to learn? I'm trying to learn the NIM programming language. So, in its own words, NIM is a efficient, expressive, elegant programming language. It looks like Python, but it is a systems programming language, so more like C and C++ and Rust, in that it compiles to system level stuff. You can also go
General
over
purpose system.
this video from Fireship, which will be linked in the description, and this
I
video
had the same.
from Code Persist, which will also be linked in the description. The video from Fireship is a very brief surface level introduction to what NIM is and isn't, and Code Persist goes a little bit deeper to show you the strengths of NIM. To me, it looked really interesting. That's why I want to learn this programming language, and I want to use an LLM to learn this new skill. So why Gemini? I believe it is my intuition that the quality of Gemini as a model has gotten quite good, as you might be able to see. But more specifically, two things stand out for me. Google has practically no rate limits on their models compared to something like an OpenAI or Claude or Grok or Meta. I haven't run into rate limits with Google at all, and but I have run into rate limits with Claude and even OpenAI, whatever their quality might be. And given that Google is getting better with quality each day, I think Gemini is worth trying. And second thing I really like is gems. You can have multiple models with your custom system prompts. For example, here I have made a model for myself called Spartan, which is set to give me the briefest possible answers, which has proven very useful. So, what will I actually be doing to learn this new programming language? I will be solving problems off of Project Euler. ProjectEuler.net is a website that hosts this list of cool mathematics problems that you can programmatically solve. They get uh, difficult as you progress through the levels, and I want to take these baby steps and slowly solve these problems and learn a programming language in the process. All right, so now that we have the context out of the way, let's work on problem one off of Project Euler. By the way, Project Euler will also be linked in the description. With that out the way, here's problem one. So if we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23. Find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below 1000. So I think I'll take a screenshot of this. Go to handy dandy Excalidraw, paste it here. All right, so let's think about this problem. Yeah, cool. I like that. All right, so it is saying for numbers n, 1 up to 999, so below 1000. 1 oh, and 999 because it's below 1000. It wants us to check if the number is divisible by 3 or 5. And if it is, then add it to a sum total. Sum total. and find out what that sum total is. So we need, what do we need? We need, in this new programming language, we'll need an iterator that can go through numbers from 1 up to 1,000, or less than 1,000. So sorry, that would be 999. We will need an integer variable, so we will need a variable. We will need conditionals, so if statements, and we will need the modulo operator. So modulo operator. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's try and see what we can get done. All right, mkdir. There we go. We will do mkdir Euler nim cd Euler nim. I have nim installed on my system, and I will tinker with it for now. And if you need help installing nim on your system, we can do that separately sometime down the road. So in vim problem 1.nim. Cool. All right. I know what you want. All right, there we go. All right, so let's go to Gemini over here. And we will go to Spartan. Cool. So in the nim programming language, how do I iterate through numbers? Please provide the syntax to go from x to y without including y. Okay, so the syntax for that is this. Cool. So what else did we need after the iterator? We need variables. All right, so we need variables. And one more time, this is the briefest possible answer right here. So it's giving me the briefest possible answers, and that saves me time, and that saves me having to scroll through the screen and this and that. So this to me is incredibly valuable, a custom system prompt. All right, so how do I define an integer in nim? Var I int. Cool. All right. How do I write if statements in nim? Please provide the syntax for it. If. Cool. All right, so not too bad, pretty Pythonic so far. Var I int, awesome. And what is the syntax for the modulo operator in nim? Mod. Well, sometimes the model can be a bit too Spartan. Please provide an example. But I think I get the idea that it is x mod y. So far we have. All right, so in the nim programming language, how do I iterate through numbers? Please provide the syntax to go from x to y without including y. So it has given me this. How do I define an integer? I define an integer like this. This is how I write if statements. This is the modulo operator. How do I print a variable in nim? Echo. Okay, cool. So Let's try this. All right, I define a variable to hold the final number. So I'll do var sum, sum total and int. So this is how I was told to define a variable in nim. Now I'll do iterate from x to y without including y. So that would be from 1 to 999 or 1000 without including 1000. So that'd be for current number in 1. What was the syntax for it? Oh, cool. All right, so 1000. Now we do if current number mod 3 equals to 0. All right, so one more thing we need is, I just realized, is our if statement needs to be a composite if statement where condition 1 and condition 2 have an and between them. So, all right, so let's do this. We're here in nim. How do I write composite if statements? Please provide an example for and. Use and or if. Okay, so and current number mod 5 equals to 0. Sum total equals to sum total plus current number. And then to print something, we would do echo sum total. I don't see any issues. So nim dash C, this is how you compile. Okay, ls, we have problem 1, it seems, and we will do awesome. So 33165. All right, so 33165. So let me look at the problem one more time before I check my answer. If we list all the natural numbers below 10 that are multiples of 3 or 5, we get 3, 5, 6, and 9. The sum of these multiples is 23. Find the sum of all the multiples of 3 or 5 below 1000. Or, oh, sorry. This isn't an and, this should be an or. I'm sorry, so let's fix that. All right, so in Vim, not an and, but an or. Oof. All right, so or. Recompile. All right, so recompile. Cool. 233168. Okay, so let me do cat or. Okay, so or, and that is a different answer. So, all right, so did I miss anything else? Below 1000, anything else that I missed? Okay, nothing else. So 233168. All right, so let's sign into Project Euler. All right, there we go. 38721. Cool. Verification code, and so I have done some of the problems before, but I'm coming back to them. So let's see. Problem 1, answer is 233168. And our answer was 233168. So this gets a green check mark. All right, so problem 1 off of Project Euler using a new programming language gets a green check mark. We're done. Good. All right, problem 2, even Fibonacci numbers. I will do that in the next video. All right, see you there.